Guys, welcome back. It seems like a lifetime since I've given you guys a firearm update on the channel. The tax stamp is here. The Daniel Defense M4 ISR-300 Blackout has finally arrived. This is my holy grail of rifles, especially in the 300 Blackout cartridge. It's taken me many years to appreciate this cartridge and many years of maturity to understand what I do and don't like for certain applications. And obviously, this is expensive. Having said all that, if you guys are new to this channel, my name is Jeff, and this is where I share my random passions with you guys. In this case, my passion for firearms. I have a passion for watches. This is my Rolex GMT Master 2 Pepsi. I have a few other Rolexes on the channel as well, and my passion's for cars. Hence, is the reason why it's taken me so long to get some of these updates out on the channel. We just recently purchased a 2024 Mustang Dark Horse. Amazing freaking car. If you'd like to check that out, along with my two C8 Corvettes that I previously owned, feel free to dive through the channel. But today we're going to be talking about the Daniel Defense M4 ISR-300 Blackout. This is an amazing platform. So we'll be discussing why I bought this gun, the benefits of 300 Blackout versus 5.56, and the modifications to this so far. So starting from the rear and working our way forward, this is a Daniel Defense proprietary stock. The cheek well is not bad, although in the summertime I think having something inlaid in rubber is kind of it kind of sucks for me personally. But all in all, it's a pretty good stock from the factory. It will be replaced with the BCM, which I have here on my URGI. First thing you'll notice is the cheek well is much more aggressive, but that's going to come down to personal use as a shooter. And this is designed specifically for Ranger bands. See that little lip right there? They fit right in. So this was designed by somebody who served in the military, and obviously Ranger bands have been utilized in the military for a very long time. Speaking of which, if you're not familiar with what Ranger bands are, in this case it's used to stow away your sling. I find this extremely important. Something this cheap could save your life. So if you're in a vehicle and you're stowing away your rifle, whether you're law enforcement, civilian, or military, last thing you want to do is get out your vehicle if a situation was to occur and you need to engage and have your sling tied up in a vehicle, and therefore costing you time and possibly your life. So if you guys have any experience with these, let me know. Drop me a comment. I will not have a rifle without using Ranger bands for my sling. So it's really easy to deploy. Just pull. It's that easy. So keep that in mind if that's something you're interested in. You can go on Amazon and research it. Just check out Ranger bands, and you will find these in all different sizes, and you can use them for all different applications. Having said that, just in full disclosure, I have no relationship with Daniel Defense. All my firearms are purchased by myself, including my ammunition. I am close friends with J&K Associates, and that is where I buy all my firearms. But like I said, everything is purchased by myself. So J&K Associates, I highly recommend them. I've been buying firearms from them for a very long time. They are just good people. I can't say enough, so I had to put that out there. Also, all these firearms have been checked. So moving forward to the cowsill nut, as expected, Daniel Defense has a very aggressive staking. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's just ensuring a baseline of where your cowsill nut is and where it should stay. Looking at the grip, surprisingly enough, if you're not familiar with Daniel Defense grips, at least for myself, the angle of these grips reminds me of the Magpul K2, which is my standard grip that I put pretty much on all my firearms. And if you overlap them, I mean, it's pretty freaking close, man, I tell you. This is my go-to Magpul K2s, but unfortunately with the Daniel Defense, they have I'm assuming a proprietary design. And if you look where the trigger guard is, it's incorporated with the grip. I don't like that. That's just me, but it is what it is. So from the factory, I do like this. Storage, pretty standard. I recommend if you do get any grip at all, or anything is installed in any of your firearms, make sure you utilize the storage. Keep a little bit of oil in there. Obviously your Allen wrenches for your, depending on what you have set up, and obviously batteries as well for your red dot. And we'll get to this in a minute. This is currently a placeholder as far as this red dot. Looking at your lower, it's pretty much a standard lower. I have an issue with the trigger. Mil-spec trigger, price point right around $3,500 or more. Yeah, I really do believe Daniel Defense could have put a different trigger in here. This is just a standard single stage mil-spec trigger. Having said all that, it's not gritty and it's not hateful, but again, for that price point, they should have put something else. Maybe a SSAE, which is a dual stage, or I don't know, maybe their Lightning Bow, which is a single stage, and they have in the Super Duty. That's just me, guys. Give me what you think. Give me your thoughts on that. For this price point, do you think they should have? Yeah, they should have replaced it. So standard lower, slight flare, and then as you move your way forward, this is going to be their MFR extra large, full length, 15 inch guard. So why is that such a big deal? Let's dive into the heart of what this is, which I'm absolutely fascinated with. So again, as we discussed, this is the Daniel Defense M4 ISR, integrally suppressed, right? So what makes this gun so freaking beautiful is the barrel length is actually 9 inches. So if we take a closer look, hard to see in there, but it is pinned and welded to the suppressor. That is a very thick and large suppressor. So this is, in total length, 16 inches, which is not an SBR. This is not a pistol. This is a rifle. So it's 1 tack stamp versus 2. And this is what makes this such a beautiful platform. So if you think about it, right, my URGI, which we have right here, this is going to be a 14.5 pin and welded, and this has the Recce 2 SOCOM suppressor. This is a very long platform, right? So if you want the minimum length of 16 inches to be legal for a rifle and have it suppressed, dependent on the size suppressor, you're going to have a very big platform. With this, again, we're looking at a 9-inch barrel and the suppressor pin and welded throughout. You don't have to worry about that. Now, the one thing I can tell you about this, you need to be very careful of, is when you're buying this gun, okay, whether it's new or used, especially if it's used, again, this has been checked, everything's been cleared, all right? The first thing you want to look at is that design right there. See those holes? That is what you're going to use to access your suppressor. So you'll have baffles inside there, and your firearm should come with a bag. And inside this bag will come, will supply your 300 Blackout mag, all your little literature, and if you have long arms, this would be perfect. An extension for your buttstock, right? That's pretty thick. I mean, if you compare that to what's on here now, should we put that back over? Yeah. So if you have long arms, that will definitely work. But the point I'm trying to get at is this comes with a tool. Make sure if you're buying this used or new that this tool comes with your Daniel Defense ISR, because you're going to use this to access your baffles for cleaning. So that is extremely important. I can't express that enough. I'm assuming you could probably buy this on Daniel Defense website if you needed to, but make sure your package comes with that. So unboxing, pretty simple. It's going to come with literature, 1 mag, extension for your buttstock and your tool, and it comes with a wonderful plastic case. Now, some people will say, you know, big deal, this case didn't really care. I mean, shoot, I had Neveskis that came with cardboard boxes. Personally, I don't care. But yeah, so that is what it is. So being 16 inches, you could have a foregrip application on this. Now, this is where things get kind of tricky for me. This is going to be in key mod. There's been a lot of discussions on the Daniel Defense ISR as far as why in the world that they choose key mod over M-LOK? That's been a very debatable discussion among many, especially at this price point, and you know, we're in 2024, right? Well, it's really, really simple. So if you had an opportunity to shoot with these or have it in your hands and take a close look, look how close the suppressor is to the key mod, right? It's extremely close. So from what I understand, from what I'm being told, and I think it's pretty common knowledge by now, is that M-LOK, there's not enough room, right? So when you're applying M-LOK on this, it will hit the suppressor. So they have to use key mod for this. This is a very thick rail. Again, this is 15 inches. And of course it has its proprietary locky system, as all Daniel Defenses do. I mean, that is not going anywhere as far as that rail. So that answers the questions as far as this being key mod. Does it bother me? Not too much, but it is what it is. Maybe down the road they could simplify this a little more. This is a Gen 2 as far as the ISR. The Gen 1, in my opinion, was a bit of a hot mess as far as the weight and the design. I didn't like it. I don't think it had a rail guard that covered everything. So, and total weight, you're talking about 7.5 pounds without the optics or the light or anything else. So with a suppressor, that's not bad at all, in my opinion. Now, are there lighter ones out there? Absolutely. But I'm not buying this, you know, to have the lightest variation of 300 Blackout. So why am I getting this? Why did I purchase a gun? What's it designed for? This is CQB for me. Anything 300 yards on in. It allows me to shoot any kind of, you know, subsonics, in case ammo incorporated. Stealth, probably right around 119 decibels if I had to guess. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, out of a 9-inch barrel. And of course, deer season. So where it's legal in your state, I think most of them are, you can shoot 300 Blackout for deer season. You will not be shooting legally, to my knowledge, 5.56. So CQB, whether it's home defense or if you had to clear rooms for your work, depending on what kind of work you do, or for hunting, I mean, you have multiple options you can choose for this, and it's in a small package. Something you cannot do, at least for hunting, with 5.56. If you have a Mark 18 with a 10.1-inch barrel, you are, I mean, that is the very edge of what is accurate for 5.56. Anything from that point on, you're going to have a lot of tumbling effects with the round, and it's just not going to be that good at all, especially when you're reaching out to 300 or so. Can you hit 600 yards with 5.56? Sure, no problem. I've seen it done. I've done it. But the tumbling effect is ferocious. So 300 yards on in with a 30 cal projectile that's hitting much like an AK round in a small package and a 5.56 casing, it's absolutely amazing, especially at roughly 119 decibels in a small package. However, this gun is expensive, as we said, and ammo is not cheap. So, case in point, $21, basically $1 a round. If that's not in your price point, you probably don't want to dive into 300 Blackout. So what's my experience with 300 Blackout? Well, I used to have the MCX Virtus years back, and I used to have a Knight's Armament 16 inch as well. Both of those are on the channel. And I did not like all the proprietary designs at the time of the MCX. I wanted a standard lower, standard type bolt carrier. I didn't want to get into all the proprietaries. So long story short, I just did not like that platform. So this is something that I've been aiming towards for a very long time. Having said that, your 9-inch barrel, your pin and welded suppressor, and accessibility for cleaning this out. Again, you're going to need that special tool that came with this firearm, and at this point it's going to be this. Absolutely love it. So moving forward to the light. This is going to be a Surefire Pro Series, and what's awesome about this is you can adjust it right there, and it will swivel back and forth, keeps it nice and tight to the rail, and as you can tell, for your 1913 Picatinny, it bolts right there. Now normally I have this bolts to the side with M-LOK. Case in point, if you're looking at my URGI, that light just got hit. You can see how close that is, right? But again, same light, but this is M-LOK. And you can tell my wiring is much better on this gun. We're working on that with this Dale Defense ISR. So having said that, it's an amazing light. I love the Pro Series. If you have multiple guns and you're kind of taking lights back and forth, I highly recommend you check it out. Therefore, you can put on your Picatinny and you don't have to worry about adding additional stuff to your M-LOK. I don't like adding weight. I don't like making this any thicker on the outside than I have to. So absolutely love this. Moving forward to the sights. Yes, I always have iron sights. These are Knights Armament, and I have it reversed for a specific reason. And that is because where you see that bolt, it's going to hit the light anywhere over here. So it still works as expected. I have sighted this in, and it's no problems whatsoever. So that's something to think about when you have Knights Armament sights. This is very thick and wide. It's going to hit right there. Working our way to the Surefire pressure switch. This mounts onto your 1913, and as you can see, I am using Ranger bands again. They designed these switches specifically for either Ranger bands or wire ties. That's why they have this little lip right here as well. This is just a little bit more of an assurance. Should I be in a situation I do not want to take a chance of this snagging and getting ripped off the firearm. Obviously, you don't want to accidental discharge either. So putting some type of cap on your light when it's not being used is highly recommended. I normally do have one on there. It is not on here now because we're still piecing this together. Wires still a little loose, which is pretty cool about this rail system. You see these little inserts right here as far as these holes. That is for if you want to use wire ties, or in this case, I'm going to use a system pretty similar to what we showed in the URGI to organize this wiring a little better. Now, in the future, this will be changed out. We are going to make this nods compatible, so that'll be a whole different system. Working our way to the optic. This is just a placeholder. This is a Hollow Sun red dot. Now, what's cool about this is, and I'll put all the information right here, I've had this forever. I mean, I've had this for a very long time. This has been on shotguns, 300 Blackout. I mean, you name it, it's been on there. This is a ACS reticle, which is designed for 5.56 and 300 Blackout. So it's pretty phenomenal. It's been holding up absolutely perfect. Now, is this battle proven? I'm going to go with no. I don't know currently of any Hollow Suns that are being deployed, but for civilian use, I can't recommend this enough. This is a lower 1/3, and yeah, that's what's on here now. I don't know if I'm going to go to a T2 aim point. I really don't know. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you should probably go to a holographic, some kind of red dot. Like, I can't do that. So with holographics, with my astigmatism, it just doesn't work. So EOTIC, free power, pretty standard. These work absolutely phenomenal, and I can't complain enough. I've had this on numerous platforms. I know it's a little bit old school to have different variations of this, but so far, tried and true, can't complain. Working our way to the iron sight in the back. Again, Knights Armament. This is 200 meters. That's where it starts with. Okay, 200 all the way out to 600. Will not be shooting 600 meters with this 300 Blackout. Not what it's designed for. But 300 meters on in, absolutely. Lower 1/3, it'll allow you to still see through your red dot. It's kind of hard to tell through here. But I can still do a lower 1/3 through my red dot if needed, if this was to go down. Iron sights, I'm old school. I train iron sights first, then I move over to my red dot. So if possible, all my firearms have iron sights. Moving over to the sling. This is a 2-point T-Rex arms. One of my favorite slings. I have this on all my firearms. I have a single quick attach, and it's for a reason. Generally, I like to keep my guns quiet. What I mean by that is, if you're doing CQB and you're trying to be quiet, yeah, not good. However, if you're in a situation where you're trying to get out of a vehicle, if you're in operations, you're in the military, whatever it may be, and you do get snagged, you want to get police as fast as possible, right? So that is something for you to think about. I like to have one QD for that reason. If I ever got snagged, I want to be able to get out of that situation as fast as possible. Other than that, I like everything nice and quiet, obviously in the back as such. Again, you're going to see a Ranger band right here. This is a very small Ranger band, but keeping everything slim, pretty self-explanatory. Bolt carrier is going to be your standard bolt carrier by Daniel Defense, nothing too crazy. And then you're going to have an ambi charging handle. Now, I absolutely love this charging handle for design so far. It feels pretty good. It's not massive. I've seen a lot of charging handles that are absolutely huge, but so far it feels pretty good. Leave a space, guys, leave a space. And here for your hands when you're charging this, go ahead and practice when you're at the range, right? Obviously in a safe direction and listen to your range officer, but don't put this so far back where you're hitting this and then this and all that good stuff. So it's something to think about when you're setting up your optics on your rifle. Having said that, that is the long and short of the Daniel Defense ISR-300 Blackout M4. Guys, what do you think so far? This is my setup currently. Would you have your setup similar to this, or would you change it? And more importantly, do you currently have one of these? I would love to hear everybody else's thoughts on this gun. You don't see a lot of these on YouTube. I will have a full review on this at the range, shooting subs, shooting supers, and we might even be shooting some match ammo. A little ridiculous shooting match in my opinion out of a 300 Blackout, but you know what? Why not? Why not, you know? And deer season. Who's used a 300 Blackout for deer season? I'm sure a lot of people have. 150 grain. It works pretty good from what I understand. And more importantly for me, I would love to hear everybody's thoughts shooting the suppressed. Man, subsonics. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So throughout this video, we're going to see pluses and minuses of the 5.56 and 300 Blackout. You could press pause, check that out, and let me know what you think as far as that. So guys, I hope you like my breakdown of my Daniel Defense ISR setup. Let me know what you would change or what you would keep. And you guys have a great day. And I'll see you at the next upload.